Hi kids, my name is Bronte. I am Texas, and that is in the United States of America. I am no longer in school. I work. So I work at the Energy Market Exchange. So it's an energy company, and I do marketing. I am so excited to be teaching you all about the food chain, and so let's get started. All right, so we have our sheet here. And at the very bottom, that's where we're going to start, at the very bottom. This is where you're going to see your decomposers. Okay, so your decomposers are going to return nutrients back to the soil. When they eat, they return nutrients back into the soil. Now, decomposers are insects, could be, like, let's name a few. So this here looks like maybe a worm. And then I also see a spider and maybe even a caterpillar. All right, so these are going to be our decomposers, returning nutrients back into the soil. All right, so now we're going to move one more up, and this is our producers. So our producers make their own food, also known as sugars, okay? And they do this by using the sun. All right, so our producers are going to be things like trees and even flowers, really, really pretty flowers. They get their food from the sun. So the plants use the sun's energy to make their own food. Now, they are the only ones on this entire chart that can make their own food. Now, how cool is that? They make their own food. All right, so now we're going to move another step up to our primary consumers, which is also known as an herbivore. All right, I'm going to say that one more time. Our primary consumers are also known as an herbivore. So our primary consumers are things like, let's take a look. A duck. We also have a deer. And we also have a rabbit. Okay, so our primary consumers only eat plants. So if a rabbit sees some really yummy grass, he's only going to eat that. If the deer sees a really yummy flower, they're going to eat that too. But that's all they eat, is only plants. Okay, so our primary consumers are known as what? Herbivores. All right, now let's move one more up. And this is our secondary consumers. Okay, this is our small carnivores. Now, carnivore means you eat meat, okay? So let's see what animals we have here. Looks like we have maybe a snake and an iguana, a really big lizard. All right, so they eat meat. Now, sometimes our secondary consumers will eat meat and they will eat plants. So when you have an animal that eats both plants and meat, they are known as an omnivore. Okay, let's say that one more time. An animal that eats both plants and animals is known as a omnivore. All right, does anybody remember what our primary consumers are also known as? That's right, an herbivore. So our primary consumers that only eat plants are herbivores. And our secondary consumers, also known as omnivores. All right, now let's move to the final step, the very top of the food chain. Okay, this is like your cheetahs and your wolves and your lions. These are our top level consumers, and they're carnivores. They only eat meat. If they see a pretty flower or if they see some grass, no way. They just want meat, and that's all they eat. All right? And now the last thing I want to share with you guys is that every time you or I or one of the animals eats, you're gaining energy. Lots and lots of energy. And that lets you play and run and do all sorts of things. So remember, every time you eat, you're getting that energy. Every time each one of these levels eats, they're gaining energy. Okay? Well, it's been so much fun teaching you guys about the food chain, and have a wonderful day.